Ben McKee, Patrick Brown, Go Balls 24/7 here inside of Neyland Stadium with our no-huddle following Tennessee's ugly 38-10 loss to Georgia. Jalen Wright sparked Neyland Stadium with a 75-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage, and the raucous environment quickly fizzled out because it was off to the races for Georgia after that, scoring 38 of the game's next 41 points to win in dominating fashion.
Yeah, Ben, it kind of went how a lot of people, including myself, maybe expected it to go. Georgia, I don't know what they ended up on third down, but it was a continuation of last week for Tennessee's defense, continuation of last week for Tennessee's offense too, just not sustaining drives, not making plays, and when your margin of error against that team is so small, every little thing like that is magnified, and you add those plays up and you get a 38-10 scoreboard. That was after the first play of the game, 38-3.
Yeah, and you look offensively, and they're a really banged-up football team right now, not just on offense, but on defense as well. We'll stick to offense for now. Two backup offensive tackles. Javonte Spraggins goes down later in the game.
One of the backup offensive tackles goes down, right?
Yes. You're already down two wide receivers, and kind of hard to really judge a performance when you do have to take those circumstances into consideration. But on top of that, they just continue to shoot themselves in the foot offensively, whether it be the quarterback not being as accurate as he needs to, whether it be the receivers not helping the quarterback out and making a play. And then after the Jalen Wright touchdown, just weren't able to get the run game going as well. And part of that was Georgia was running a whole lot more plays than Tennessee, but still wasn't able to establish the run after that Jalen Wright touchdown.
Yeah, it was the second straight week, and you can even go back to the Florida game where, because the defense can't get off the field, the offense is sitting over there on the sideline, and this is such a rhythm offense. When you take moving pieces in and out, so many different positions, and you sit them on the sideline. I mean, Tennessee ran, I think, 26 plays in the first half. It's hard to get in a rhythm as an offense when you're in that situation. Now they have to find a way to overcome it, and they have to find a way to generate their own offense and momentum. And you need guys to make plays. I thought there were 3 times in the first half where Tennessee's receivers had a chance to make plays. They didn't do it. Start the third quarter, you get a 3 and out. I think the only one they got in the game, and then Joe Milton misses Squirrel White for a touchdown over here. I mean, that's a big play in the game. Tennessee's defense only had so many stops in it because they're playing backups at safety. They're playing a third-string star. It can quickly go from 24-17, the crowd's in it, you're in the game, to 31-10, and the procession is on its way.
Yeah, and we've kind of touched on some of the defensive issues. You mentioned the injuries on that side of the ball continue to not be able to get off the field on third down, and just Georgia has a lot of playmakers, and they took advantage of Tennessee tonight, a shorthanded Tennessee defense.
Yeah, Georgia executed, Georgia made plays. Their guys got open, their guys, whatever Tennessee called, if they played man and blitz, blitzes never got there. If they blitzed and played zone, blitzes never got there. They couldn't cover. I mean, Georgia receivers were creating a lot of separation and making plays. And, they have a quarterback that was playing pretty well and has played pretty well all season. So, nothing that Tennessee's defense did really mattered just because none of it was working. I mean, they couldn't make enough plays. And even, even when they did get stops, Georgia was putting the ball on the ground. They got a false start, I think, on one. There was a drop on the third down to start the second half. So, it was a tough day for Tennessee defense again.
Yep, and they need to turn it around quickly because they do play Vanderbilt, but you can't kind of hang your head off of a couple of tough losses. And I asked Josh Heupel about that, and he talked about the way his team has competed this year, even if the score wasn't ideal to look at. And Aaron Beasley said they love football. So when you love football, that makes it easy to show up and play, even if the season hasn't gone the way you wanted to up until this point.
Right, and there'll be a lot of guys that are definitely playing their last games here next week. Some guys that think they'll be playing their last games here or are thinking about it. So, they've got to come out and show up. Vanderbilt, that Super Bowl comment always gets overused, but that's always a big game for Vanderbilt. And they've not had a great season either. But if they beat Tennessee, their season's made. And the narrative of your season can switch a lot too if you lose to Vanderbilt. So Tennessee's got to regroup and get this last game and try to get a win and then see where they end up in the bowl season.
Absolutely. We've got plenty of coverage of Tennessee's loss to Georgia up at Go Balls 24/7, and we'll continue to do so as we move into the final week of the regular season and Thanksgiving week. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee.